Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's first time here on match day 2 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite Tournament here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. It's Itanda Kayakers up against Karuma Rapids. I have the two captains here with me. Proskovia Alako, the captain for Karuma Rapids. I have Janet Timbawaz, the captain for Itanda Kayakers. And the match umpire, Emmanuel Kamia. We've come here for the toss. Pressy, you have the coin. Please give it a flip.
Heads.
Heads is the call. And heads it is. Congratulations, Janet, upon winning the toss. What will be your decision this morning and why?
We'll have a ball. I think there's a bit of a weather forecast. The wicket looks very damp, and I think it's an opportunity for our bowlers to come on and just put a bit of pressure on the batters of Karuma Rapids, and hopefully we shall we'll have a score that we can chase.
Yeah, you talk about the pressure. What looks like the bowling plan? Which set are you looking at? As you see, the condition is this morning here at Lugogo.
We'll have quite a number of youngsters coming on to bowl, and very good bowling side. We'll have to have some of the girls come on and just bowl the right lines for the team, good length for the team, and hopefully they're able to execute the team's plan, which is very simple. Just trying to again, like I mentioned, bowling good lines and length, and yeah.
Did you make any changes in the team?
Yes, I'm having Teddy sit out, Shadia sit out, and I'm having Peace coming in and Blessing.
Thank you so much and all the best.
Okay.
Pressy, please come through. Press, if you had gotten a chance to win the toss, what would have been your decision and why?
Definitely, I would have had the ball first because of the outfield, the weather. Yeah.
Now that the plan is not your way, which tot are you looking at? Karuma Rapids looking for the first win in the tournament. What would be the plan in this game?
Depending on the overs, depending on the overs. If we play 120 runs, we play if it's reduced overs, we'll just look up to being positive and just playing ourselves in.
Did you make any changes in the team?
Yeah, I did. Ichimar is out and Ilora too. Then Mariam is in and Kaomer.
Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you.
Well, that is the news coming from the center. Itanda Kayakers has won the toss and elected to bowl first. The Karuma Rapids, Itanda Kayakers won the toss and elected to have the ball first. First ball of this innings starts with one just outside off stump, but no movement whatsoever there, although there is a call of wide from the umpire. Trying to look for that wide line. This time round, that's cut. Not the best of hands there from Nandera Immaculate. And Esther Elok will get off the mark there. The two umpires are standing in this game this morning. Michael Okoth standing alongside the man who is standing at the bowler's end, Emmanuel Kamia. A bit of a half track. She tries to pull it away, and that rattles the pads, but I think height was the issue, of course, and there from the umpire, as the appeal leaves the umpire mute. Hope Shilambeza still trying to look for a way of breaking her shackles She's opening the batting alongside Esther Ilok. Lona Anyait there asking the questions. A bit full. But another dot ball there from Anyait Lona. Anyait Lona and Hope Shilambeza have both played for the Baby Victoria Pearls. In 2022, tournament which was played in Botswana, the Under-19 World Cup qualifiers. But Alona Anyait has some caps with the senior women's team, the Victoria Pearls. Though the former captain for Jinja Secondary School, Hope Shilambeza, is still looking for a way of getting to that mark. This is match day 2 of the Waterfalls LA tournament here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Tries to drive that one to the cover area, but straight to the captain for the Itanda Kayakers, Janet Mbabazi. Hope Shilambeza still trying to get off the mark. Plays that one late. And that races to the short third area. Chance for them to pick 2. And the more 2 runs for the Karuma Rapids onto the total. And those 2 runs will mark the end to over number 1. And after the first over, the score is 4 for no loss. A tournament that gives opportunity to the Victoria Pearls players who have been out of action since their return from Thailand during the Emerging Nations Series. The Under-19 who also have a busy year, including a qualifier that will happen in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania later on this year in October, have all been given opportunity to come and make sure that they take part in this edition of the Waterfalls Women's Elite. And Michelle Ariago will bowl the second over from the Ginger Road end. The protection is Kao Corner. And deep mid wicket for Esther Ilok. That is full and played up and over, but chance to catch. Straight to the safe hands of Immaculate Nakisui. And the Karuma Rapids lose their wicket, their first wicket in this game. A bit flatted and tossed up. Esther Ilok thought it was the ball to hit, but unfortunately she doesn't clear the inner field. Immaculate Nakisui gets hold onto that catch at the mid-off area. And the Karuma Rapids lose their first wicket. Esther Ilok falls cheaply there for the Karuma Rapids. And in walks Rita Musamali. Rita Musamali is the assistant captain for the Victoria Pearls. And in she comes. A state of bother for the Karuma Rapids. Karuma Rapids, the only winless side in this tournament. That is a bit full. And played with power down to the long onside there, and Musamali Rita gets off the mark. Due to a slight morning drizzle, the match has been reduced to 8 overs aside, and we will have the power play coming to an end after 2.2 overs. A bit full, but with the pads, she tries to tickle it to the onside, but doesn't make any meaningful connection. Hopshila Mbeza and Rita Msamali are both OGs of Jinja Secondary School. The two also play for the same domestic league, Jinja SS Cricket Club. That's the good area there to be bowled by Michelle Ariago. Yesterday on the match day number 1, Itanda Kayakers beat Vijagai Rafters in the morning by 32 runs. Whereas in the afternoon, the Vijagai Rafters managed to bounce back winning ways, overcoming the Karuma Rapids and winning the game by 7 wickets. Yesterday, Hope Shilambeza was the leading runs scorer for the Karuma Rapids, scoring 37 of 53, whereas Ritam Samali got 13 of 23. But a lot of batting responsibility rests on the shoulder of these two batters, Hope Shilambeza and Ritam Samali. Lona Anyait will come to bowl over number 3 in this innings. Plays up and over, slices it over the backward point area and first boundary of this innings. A lot of width on the offer there from Lona Anyait, and Ritam Samali obliges with a beautiful shot, just cutting it late and managing to see that one race to the boundary. First boundary in this innings. Lona should be trying to ball it a bit close to Rita. Pulls it away, and that should be past the fielder. There's protection in the deep, but the chase between Michelle Ariago and Divine will not help them to stop that one, as that races to the boundary. Back ball reserve from Ritam Samali. Ritam Samali enjoying his innings today. Both her boundaries coming backward of the square. Rita, as she's still trying to push and find something out of nothing, but that boundary and that ball will mark the end to the power play. The power play has come to an end. 2.2 overs gone. Remember, the game has been reduced 8 overs aside. Protection deployed all over the onside. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, cow corner. Rita still pulls it down. Good work there from Michelle Ariago, and just 1 run is taken. The fielding restrictions playing in favor of the Kayakers. Down the leg for another wide. Second wide by Lona Anyait in the innings and in the game. And those are the only extras that we've so far seen in this game. 2 extras so far. A bit full there from Lona Anyait, but drifting away from the batter. Long swayed there from Hope Shilambeza, but not anywhere close to that one. Balls her right away. Tries to go and force that ball to the onside, but doesn't close her gates. Somehow Lona Anyait manages to find something there for the Itanda Kayakers, and the Karuma Rapids lose their second wicket. Ilok Esther fell in the previous over, and shortly she's been followed by Hope Shilambeza. 2 wickets in quick succession. there for the Itanda Kayakers. And 17-2 after 2.5 overs is now the score here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. The departure of Hope Shila Mbeza will bring the captain for the Karuma Rapids to the crease. Power there through the cover area. Brilliant work there from Prescovia Alako. They are pushing very quickly and they'll manage to pick those 2 runs. The 2 fielders at the cover area not giving full efforts. And in the end, Prescovia Alako manages to get off the mark with that double. That double will mean that after 3 overs, 19-2 is the score here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. And if you're just joining us, this is match day number 2 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite Tournament 2026. And this is the 2nd edition happening here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Only the Karuma Rapids are a team yet to pick up victory in this tournament. Today they face Itanda Kayakers this morning. Itanda Kayakers won the toss and elected to bowl first. And the plan looks to be working out for them. 19-2 after 3 overs. The game being reduced to 8 overs apiece. And a subsequent bowling change there for the Itanda Kayakers. Naomi Jane Amongen will now replace Michelle Ariago from the side of the Ginger Road. Itanda Kayakers will be in action again in the afternoon facing the Vijagali Rafters. That game will be starting at 2 p.m. Overcast conditions here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Protection deployed for Ritam Samali. Deep mid-wicket with longer on and longer off, standing right close to the 45 boundary. Fine leg is also right at the boundary. Amongin to Rita. Tries pull it, but doesn't make contact. Well, that will go down the leg for a wide. Not a dream start there for Naomi Jane Amongin as she starts with a freebie. 3 free runs have been given away so far in this innings by the Itanda Kayakers. Upish, but it will fall short of the fielder. Unfortunate sins. Nonetheless, she manages to cut that to just 1 run. Appeal Blessing Noelin runs. Not quickly coming for the Karuma Rapids. Now the captain for the side will take a guard, Prescovia Alako. 1 drifting away from her. Good area there from Naomi Jane Amongin as she manages to squeeze in a dot ball there for the Itanda Kayakers. Of course, Itanda Kayakers winning the toss and electing to bowl first should be backing up that plan. Sliced backward of the square. Despite a morning drizzle, the outfield at Lugogo Cricket Oval has been electric, and that races away to the boundary. 3rd boundary in the innings. 1st boundary for Prescovia Alako, just creating some room. She manages to knock that one down to the 3rd man boundary for a boundary. Words coming in there from the captain, Janet Mbabazi, to Naomi Jane Amongin. I think there are some bit of width. She needs to just be bowling it straight to make sure that she forces Prescovia Alako to play with the long on and longer off. There, tap and go. right in her nose. And another run there added onto the total. Good cricket being happening here between Proskovia Alako and Ritam Samali. They are just making sure that they keep the runs flowing for the Karuma Rapids. Slugs that one away, but there is protection in the deep. Nandera Immaculate will cut that one to just one run. Fine fielding there from the left-handed Nandera Immaculate. You could feel that now Mejen Amongin is all over the place. She's not really bowling that stump-to-stump line. She's on the off and on the on. And that may turn out to be a bit costly for her in her bowling spell. A bit full, but gets one drifting away from Proskovia Alako. A dot ball, and that will mark at the end of over number 4. Score is 27 for a loss of 2 wickets here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Bowling change for the Itanda Kayakers. We saw spin opening up things at both ends. Lona Anyait and Ariago Michel bowled the first 2 overs. And now Irene Mutoni will replace Lona Anyait, who's bowled 2 overs so far in the game. The change is at the KFC end. Starts with a quick one. Deft touch there from Ritam Samali for just a single. Just using the pace of the ball and guiding it down to the 30-man boundary. Somehow Ritam Samali and Proskovia Halako have made sure that they keep the runs. They keep the scoreboard ticking for the Karuma Rapids. A bit full, not with the rim shot there from bit of an edge, and yet more runs. Proskovia Alako and Ritam Samali making sure that they keep the runs coming on board for the Karuma Rapids. All these teams pick their names from the different waterfalls that we have in Uganda. Karuma Rapids from the Karuma Falls that are located right on the Gulu Highway. Whereas the Itanda Falls is found in Jinja. The Bujagali Rafters, they also pick their name from the waterfalls which is found in Jinja as well. Well, from the sidelines, you see the Uganda A, Uganda Emerging, Uganda 23, and the Cricket Cranes all having their sessions. Forcing it on the onside. Nearly got herself run out. But the effort there from the wicketkeeper, Jimia Mohamed Abdallah, not really giving her the reward of that wicket. Erin Motone started with 1 wide, but now when you see the previous balls that she's bowled, she's made sure that she brings the ball close to the batter. That is not from the sweet spot of the bat. Down to the deep square leg for another single. Ritam Samali going for power on that occasion, but not just making meaningful connection. Irene Muton trying to make sure that she cuts off all the boundaries. One drifting away from Proskovia Alako, and the dot ball in the end. 5 overs gone, and 32-2 is now the score. Three overs to play in this innings. And the bowling change there as Michelle Ariago, who's so far bowled 1 over, giving away 2 runs and picking up a wicket, will now come to replace Naomi Jane Amongin from the Ginger Road end. Michelle Ariago got the first wicket for the Itanda Kayakers, getting rid of Esther Ilok. And now she will come into bowl. She has protection being deployed. Deep square leg, cow corner, longer on and longer off, all patrolling that boundary. Michelle tries to pull it away, but there's a protection in the deep. Misjudges that one completely. Naomi Jane Amongin being the guilty party on that occasion. Guilty of not stopping that one. And out of nothing, Ritam Samali gets a boundary to keep runs flowing for the Karuma Rapids. You would see that she moved a bit quick. Plays that one on the back foot. In the gap, chance to push for 2. And more 2 runs there from Ritam Samali. Just making sure that the scoreboard is still in flow. Goes on the back foot and plays it backward of the square, but there is protection at short fine. Good stop. Not the best of throws, but no run is taken. Michelle Ariago still forcing in the variations here for the Karuma Rapids. A bit flighted, but yet an extra. Swings hard, but doesn't make enough contact. But the umpire confirms that those are by runs there scored. Due end of over number 6, and the 41-2 is the score for the Karuma Rapids. Karuma Rapids still searching for the first victory in this second edition of the Waterfalls Women's Elite Tournament. Yesterday they were unlucky, losing by 7 wickets to the Bujagali Rafters, whereas the Itanda Kayakers managed to beat the Bujagali Rafters in the morning by 32 runs. And now Irene Mutoni returns to bowl. Wild swing, but just hint of an edge. Flying up in the air is the wicketkeeper Jamia Mohammed, but she will see that one race to the boundary at the 3rd man. Another boundary there from Proskovia Alako. Somehow the Karuma Rapids are making sure that they get a boundary every over. because we are already into the death, this is the penultimate over to complete the first innings of this game. They know that the runs that they get here will be the runs that can help them get victory this morning here at Lugogo. Overcast conditions, third man, deep mid wicket, long on and long off, all protecting the boundary for Proskovia Alako. Another fielder being introduced backward of the square in Appeal Blessing Noelin. Try and make sure that they see how Aaron Mutton goes with the business for the Itanda Kayakers. A bit short, and yet another edge there from Proskovia Alako. The outfield has been quick this morning despite wet grass and back-to-back boundaries there for Proskovia Alako. Alako showing the intent and aggression, making sure that she accelerates things. For the Karuma Rapids, the captain trying to lead from the front. Projected score 61. Swings hard, beautiful shot. This time round, she plays it over the field at covers for yet another boundary. 3 boundaries in the over, 12 runs so far on the first 3 balls of the over. Erin Mutoni, well known for bowling good areas. But Proskovia Alako also looking very, very good to the challenge, making sure that she gets the runs for the Rapids. Well, that boundary brings up 50 runs for the Karuma Rapids. She goes for a slower, and Proskovia Alako obliges. First maximum in this innings. 3 boundaries and a maximum. Looks like this is the over that the Karuma Rapids were looking to target. A slower, not well executed, and the power of Proskovia Alako gives the Karuma Rapids another boundary. Janet Mbabazi quickly bringing in the instructions there for Irene Mutoni. Clearly not the dream bowling plan for the Itanda Kayakers. They somehow had things in their end, but things are again looking to get out of hands with Proskovia Alako showing aggression and intent. Captain's innings there for her. Good bowling there. Just putting it in the good area. Goal leaders for the Itanda Kayakers as they manage to pick up a dot ball. But clearly the damage already made there by Proskovia Alako. She has already gotten 18 runs in this over. Last ball to complete the penultimate over of this innings. An appeal, and is given by the umpire. Alako Proskovia trying to force the shot on the onside. She edges it, and the wicketkeeper Jamia Mohammed gets hold onto that catch. The Karuma Rapids lose another wicket. And at the end of the 7th over, 59 for 3 is the score for the Rapids. 69 runs for the Itanda Kayakers to pick up victory here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. The Kayakers won the toss, but apart from the over where Proskovia Alako fired 18 in just one over, you'd feel that in the other overs they've done a lot of good work, just making sure that they don't give away many runs. Itanda Kayakers have played one game and they've won the game that they played against the Bujagali Rafters yesterday. They are already on top of the table with 2 points from the one game they have played so far. If they win again today, they will remain on top of the table. But before they do so, they will need to get 69 runs from 8 overs. Janet Mbabazi, the captain for the Itanda Kayakers, who also doubles as the captain for Soroti Cricket Club Women, and the Victoria Pearls will open the batting alongside Lona Anyait, Fiona Kurume Egaru, who's been captaining Olida Cricket Club in the domestic league. The champions of the women's T20 last year will bowl the first over. First ball of the run chase, Kulume Tumbabazi, deft touch, dot ball. These two teams, in coaching perspectives, the Karuma Rapids are coached by Ivan Kakande, whereas the Itanda Kayakers are coached by Aaron Kusasira. Shimmy down the track, tries to pull that one away, but doesn't make meaningful connection. And that runs to the helmet, prompting the physio to try and make sure that he goes and performs a concussion test. Two balls, two dot balls. 69 from 46 is now the equation with 10 wickets at hand. But how they go about the power play will say a lot on the result that they pick in from this game. The power play at 2.2 overs in a reduced 8 overs aside match here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. The concussion test is done. 69 from 49. Another dot ball there from Fiona Kulume. Fiona Kulume just making sure that she swings it in for Janet Mbabazi. Protection on the onside. Fine leg and deep mid wicket. Tries to go for a short ball and that's pulled away. A very uncalled for delivery. She was bowling the good areas and picking dot balls, but as soon as she tries to bounce it, she doesn't extract a lot of bounce from the surface. And Janet Mbabazi manages to break the shackle for the Itanda Kayakers picking up the first boundary in this run chase. Pulled down to the mid wicket. Good fielding and good throw there from Proskovia Alako, just cutting it to 1 run. Off the strike, Janet Mbabazi, and now Lona Anyait will face the final ball of over number 1 in this run chase. Last ball. They've touched. No effort whatsoever there from the fielder. And that will run away for another boundary. 2 boundaries in the over plus a single. 9 runs off over number 1 of this run chase. Sixty runs from 42 balls is now the equation for the Itanda Kayakers pick-up victory this morning here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Consulate Ayokoni Mungu will bowl the second over. The experienced former captain of the Victoria Pearls, Consi, will now have a chance to ask questions. When Consi was captain, Janet was vice captain. And now here is a tail. Starts with a short ball, pulled away. Brilliant stop. Just 1 run is taken there. Short fine now being sent straight up. One drifting away from her. Great use of the surface there from Konsi Aweko. Protection is at long on and deep mid wicket. Deft touch there from Lona Anyait. Right in the nose. Of Patricia Malemikia for another single. Konsi making sure that she squeezes in another dot ball for the Rapids. Pulls that one away but doesn't make enough contact. Lona Anyait running very quickly to see if she could get the second one, but they will only get a single. A risk run could have caused a little more trouble for the Kayakers. 57 in 37, last ball of over number 2. Dot ball, just 3 runs given away by Kos Aweko in this over. Making up for the 9 that we are given away by Kulume in the first over. And 12 for no loss is the score after 2 overs. Fiona Kulumi, after giving away 9 runs in the first over, will be given opportunity to bowl the second over. 57 from 37 is now the equation for the Kayakers pick up victory this morning or this afternoon. A bit of an edge up in there. Will fall in the vacant area as the fielder doesn't put too much effort to save that one. Rashidat Kavula, the reaction speed being a bit low, she could have clearly gotten hold onto that catch. But there is a field change. Short third goes down to third man, whereas fine leg in Rashidat Kavula remains there in place. Well, this is the last ball to complete the power play. Up and over through the cover area. Width on the offer there from Lona Anyait. And she manages to send that one to the boundary. Good use there of the fielding restrictions by Lona Anyait. Well, that boundary will mark at the end of the power play. Apish, chance to catch. Catch is taken by Kos Aweko at covers. And Lona Anyait perishes. The Karuma Rapids pick up the first wicket in this run chase. And 17 for 1 is the score after 2.3 overs here at Logogo Cricket Oval. Gets down on one knee, tries to force the shot on the onside, but doesn't make any contact. Jimia Mohamed Abdallah, the new batter who's just walked on to replace Lona Anyait. Jimia was the player of match yesterday as the Itanda Kayakers managed to beat the Bujagai Rafters. She scored 48 of 39, missing out a half century by just 2 runs in that 32 runs win against the Rafters. She comes in at number 3 to make sure that she gets runs for the Itanda Kayakers. Things look to be getting out of hands. Required run rate 9.75. A bit full and driven down the ground. Just plays it to the extra cover. Good work there being done by Proskovia Alako. You cannot take on her arm as she manages to cut that one to just a single. 52 from 31 balls for the Kayakers to win and remain on top of the table. Yona Egaro Kulme, who's made a difference for the Karuma Rapids. That's played by Janet Mbabazi down to long on. They're pushing very quickly and they manage to get those 2 runs. Janet Mbabazi sees that the boundaries are not coming her way, and now she's resorted to accelerating the speed between the wickets. Ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of over number 3. And after 3 overs, 20-1 is the score. The Itanda Kayakers need 49 runs from 30 balls with 9 wickets at hand at an asking rate of 9.80 to pick up victory this afternoon here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. I'm joined in by Innocent Ndaola Muganda, the prince from the kingdom of Uganda here in the comms. He was here yesterday, he saw everything, but looks like now the only unbeaten side has a chance of picking up something out of nothing. Good morning, good afternoon, Innocent, and welcome to the comms.
Yesterday was a learning day for the teams, and we saw it from the rafters of Jagali. Lost 1 in the morning, but they learnt a thing or two with their coach Jonathan Sebanja, winning their second game on the day against the Rapids. And now the Rapids would like to send a statement as well that no one is invisible in this tournament. If the Kayakers can win, we can also win. And you very well know this is a big day as well for the Kayakers. It is their double-header day, so there's no hiding place for them. On your double-header day, you lose 2, you are 0-2 on the day, and you are chasing leather.
And I think another thing on a double-header day, you need to win the morning game. Try and make sure that you get that momentum and just carry it forward in the afternoon. Well, the conditions quite working out for all the teams. Overcast conditions, a game being reduced to 8 overs apiece. And now there's a bowling change for the Rapids as Rita Musamali gets the ball, replacing Koslet Ayokonimungu from the Gerard end. Rita has been bowling good areas since her introduction in the attack, and she's just making sure that she forces the batters to play on her field with long on and long off right at the boundary. Up, chance to catch, put down. Cardinal scene there from Tino Sara. She was so confident, and she puts another chance for the Karuma Rapids down.
There was a big talk going around yesterday as the elderly members of the association tried to assess the strengths of the teams, and everyone thinking that Itanda Kayakers will walk through this tournament unbeaten because of them being top heavy with the 4 national team players at the top of the order, because we are yet to see Immaculate Nakisui walk out there. Yesterday, she strung together a very beautiful partnership with Jimia Muhammad that resuscitated the innings of the Kayakers as they set 112. Full cut, but cutting to the fielder, Tino Sara this time around. Very beautiful pickup, throw, not inch perfect, but will do for now. Musamali yesterday struggled a bit with the Lions, flying at 8 per over, but you can see she's finding control now, and all this is happening because the players have been a bit rusty. They were in the off-season, and the players that did win Player of Match awards, for example, like Jimia, are the players that took the off-season serious, and they were practicing quietly. That is very well pulled. Power on the shore, and that will be 4 to the total by Janet Mbabazi. It was asking to be hit. half tracker, pitch down, and she just complies and does the rest of the job with the outfit that has been electric in Lugogo, irrespective of the small rains here and there, doing the rest of the work.
I think I keep wondering is that sometimes you could see Ritam Samali bowling in a few tournaments, domestic tournaments, including the league. But when it gets to international tournaments, she hardly gets hold of the ball. I don't recall her bowling in a single over when we were in Thailand a few months ago. But she's really a bowler who can give you something out of nothing. Well, that dot ball mark at the end to over number 4, leaving the score to 27 for 1.
You've got to give flowers to Musamali's inning earlier today and Alako, that 18 over burst, 18-run burst from Alako. The 7th over where she took on the opening ball of the national team, Irene Mutonyi. There were 3 fours back-to-back, a hat-trick over boundaries, and then the big one, a 6, and the over wrapped up with a wicket. But it was all good. She had done the damage. Alako, the skipper of the Rapids in this Waterfalls Women's Elite League, enjoying her bask with the stint as a captain. She was very happy with, when I had a chat with her yesterday at the tours and the presentation. And all the new captains I'm seeing for the first time, Stephanie Nampina, Alako Proskovia, are showing a lot of awareness that they know the game. Their analysis is top-notch, and flowers to them. I'm telling them to continue showing the confidence because it will impact on the other players. And with the world watching, you never know, you could be invited somewhere and you asked to be the franchise skipper of the team, maybe in Nigeria or maybe in Dubai.
Bowling change. And the new bowler is welcomed into the attack with that powerful stroke from Jamia Mohammed, who is in fine form. Plays one through the covers to the boundary as Proskovia, as Jamia Mohammed welcomes Mariam Beribawa into the bowling attack for the Karuma Rapids.
Miriam playing her first game of the tournament. I like the rules of the tournament. Every franchise has 3 under-19 players, and on every particular match day, 2 of them must make the playing 11. So Miriam gets a bite at the cherry, and she must make the most of it, because also the coaches are trying to make sure that the young players get to bowl more. And I tell you what, they've been fine bowlers, but Miriam is finding the blades hot of Jimia and Mbabazi, already tonked for 2 boundaries. She's on the back foot.
Somehow undone on that previous ball. No effort from Fiona Kulume and no effort from Tino Sara right at the boundary. Somehow a touch could have cut that on maybe to 2 runs. But back to boundaries there from Jamia Mohammed, still taking on Mariam Biriwawa. But I think it's a good plan there to make sure that these under-19 players get a chance in this tournament. They have a qualifier in not so many months from now, as Uganda, for the 3rd time, will be looking for a spot at the Under-19 World Cup. In 2022, Rwanda was lucky, having beaten Uganda during the semi-finals. Whereas 2 years ago, down in Kigali, it's Nigeria that got a ticket to play in that World Cup, which was played in Malaysia last year. Not the best of deliveries, but she will be happy that that just counts as a wide. I think it's a good plan for the Kayakers to try and make sure that they target a few of these under-19 bowlers.
Question not out of the picture, 10 per over needed. Already they have 13 in this over now. With those extra wides, make that 14. Really, if you are good at calling games, this one will be hard to call for now. We know what Mbabazi can do. She's already shown her long levers. There she goes, big swing. The stamping call, not out. The youngster gets a dot ball. But there's no second guessing from Mbabazi. She's got the license to go. And she will be trying to go big and bigger. The 40 is up. Another 40 needed. And 4 overs. More freebies on offer. The chase is on. Konse Aweko. Konse Aweko looking much slimmer. Yesterday she pulled off some dives that needed a second eye. And I like that the work they've done in the off-season as well, the Victoria Pearls. The coach is asking them to log in. That is the power of Janet Mbabazi on show for you. She's not second guessing here. She doesn't want to leave the stage out there in the middle, ruining a missed chance. So she's giving herself a chance to take her team closer to the needed total. Big, big over for them. It has really flown.
Yeah, indeed, the youngster being put on pressure. You clearly saw it from the back boundaries that were scored by Jimia Mohamed Abdallah in that over. This was the over that they needed to target, and they got maximum dividends out of it, making sure that they reduce the equation and make sure that they keep the game in close touch. 46 for 1 after 5 overs. We are down to the last 18 balls to complete this innings. Not sure if we will reach the final ball, but with Konse Aweko, who gave away just 3 runs in the 1 over that she so far bowled in this game. Oh, Konse Aweko will momentarily be taken out of the attack, and it will be Ritam Samali to do the work there. Ritam Samali gave away 7, and now she's being given chance to bowl her second over. If she could make sure that she doesn't concede a boundary in this over, she stands a chance of helping the Karuma Rapids, pushing it maybe to the wire. Of course, Konse Aweko, who gave away 3 runs, has another over, maybe which could be bowled from the other side. But it should be Ritam Samali to make sure that the bowlers who will bowl the remaining 2 overs have something to work around with. When you look at the pitch, there is protection at extra cover, deep square leg, and deep mid wicket plus cow corner as Ritam Samali returns into the attack.
Of course, those 2 overs, one will be given to Konse. You saw the elders meeting for the Rapids, and that's the idea. They're saying it's okay, we can give them the 1. We need to deny them the boundaries because they need at least 10 runs every over. Simple mathematics, but harder if it is the action that is required of the players.
I tell you, Innocent, this game can swing to any direction. Whoever does the basics of the game well here has a chance of winning this game. More protection on the boundary for Janet Mbabazi as Longo off goes to the sack and extra cover comes in, pulls that one between deep square leg and deep mid wicket. Janet Mbabazi still making sure that the runs are in full flow for the Itanda Kayakers.
Put them under pressure, and the 50 does come up now. 51. There is a belief that maybe, yes, Egaro Kulume will run quickly to the senior player, the vice keeper of the Victoria Pearls, for some words of advice. Says, pitch it up fully, let her hit us down the ground for 6. The pull shot is her scoring shot. That is better. A shimmy down the wicket going for the same shot. This time it lacked power. So the 2 fielders do a good clean-up job in the deep. It's just 1 run, but already 6 runs in the over from the first 3 balls. Now you look at the equation like she is defending 4 runs of the last 3 balls because once they get 10, they are at par.
Yeah, indeed, the plan could have been making sure they cut off boundaries in this over, but with the boundary in the over, now it should change to forcing them to play on the offside. And now for Jimia Mohamed. Shouts of how is it? And that's given by the umpire. Somehow Ritam Samali trying to force Jimia Mohamed to play on the offside with extra cover being dropped down. Jimia Mohamed edges it to the wicket keeper. And Esther Elok with a fine catch. Somehow the Karuma Rapids will have a breather because that is not only a wicket but also a dot ball as Jimia Mohamed departs.
Very well said, Ivan. It's not the wickets that matter in this type of game. It's the dot balls. The dot balls create a lot of pressure, and that pressure does mean that you not only pluck out a player, but when you pick a wicket, it is like two dot balls in one, because there's a new person coming through and they have to start all afresh, unless they've been in a certain indoor nets that we have never seen here in Lugogo.
10 of 23. Immaculate Naksui, former skipper for the Victoria Pearls, will now join Janet Mbabazi at the crease. Immaculate Naksui can hit the ball, so it's not yet over. Unless somehow Ritam Samali can find something out of nothing. When I just arrived in the morning, I found these two OGs, Ritam Samali and Immaculate Naksui, who've both been at Ginger SS, sitting together and having their casual talk. But now it will be time for Ritam Samali to bowl to Immaculate Nakisui. Extra cover comes up, long on and long off, right at the boundary. The field at the deep square leg area standing so wide, whereas there is more protection at extra cover. Rita to Ime, plays with the power, straight to Tino Sara. Clear, that was one run, but out of nowhere they get 2 runs. Saratino has been so guilty. Her fielding has not really come to the party this afternoon here at Lugogo.
Half-hearted efforts there from Tino Sara. Guilty party. If guilty was a name, let's give it to Tino Sara for now. Dropped chances, missed fields. She's in the wrong books of the innings and not helping the cause for the Rapids. Here's Musamali to Nakisui. Up and over. Beauty. Written all over that shot as the former skipper of the Victoria Pearls. Imi Nakisui, the boss lady, plays it like the real boss. Up and over the point region for a boundary. The over is big again. The equation still remains now 9 per over. Easier said than done.
Not a very good bowling plan there from Ritam Samali. Clearly with no field at extra cover, she should have bowled straight or maybe on the onside. But some bit of width on the offer, and the boss lady slices that one for a boundary. With that boundary marks the end to the over. 56 for 2 is now the score after 6 overs. 12 balls are remaining in this run chase. And looking at the equation here for the looking at the equation, 13 runs from 12 balls, a run a ball. Clearly means that you don't have any chance of giving away many. And the fielding for the Karuma Rapids, plus their body language, doesn't really give them a chance. The only chance they have is that with Konsa Aweko coming to bowl this over, maybe she can bowl it so fine to make sure that whoever bowls last over has some runs to work with.
I feel the Rapids have played into the hands of the Kayakers, who are looking like they are gliding through these Itanda falls easily, because they have bowled in regions where the ball can be hit, and they've given a lot of freebies. Big hot, big shot. That is 6. Janet Mbabazi saying, I'll go downtown shopping, and she goes downtown shopping for a huge 6. Come runs. Brings the equation now to single digits that is required for
Konsa Aweko trying to buy a wicket. A loose ball there from her, and Janet Mbabazi dispatches it for a maximum. That should have been the area to bowl. But a little late. You'd feel that some of the Karuma Rapids are waking up when it's already morning. And the Itanda Kayakers are just sailing to victory. Clearly, Konsa Aweko could have done something to make sure that there are runs to play around with in the final over. But as per the look of things, this may not get to the final over. And now it will be the boss.
Wides on offer. No need for that run, Babazi. There is no pressure whatsoever. You've done the hard work. Into her 30s now. I feel that she's single-handedly played a beautiful cameo to steal the game. Their coach cut very well. Delicate touch from Imin, actually, who knows the job is already done. And it's a miracle. Marginal proportions does happen. You can see how the comedy of errors between the fielders and the bowlers has given away now 3 runs. The Kayakers are rafting home. They are celebrating, and you can see how angry the coach of the Rapids is. He was hitting himself on the laps, not knowing what just hit them. From a point when they need 12 per over, it is gone now to just very few runs required for victory here. It is all shifted momentum in just a snap of a finger. And looks like after those 3 runs that have been taken, it is game, set, and match here at Lugogo. The Kayakers snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. When it looked like it was unlikely they would get 69, they crossed the finish line with even an over and some balls to spare.
I tell you, looking at the equation at the end of, at the beginning of the innings, 69 from 48 balls, I clearly gave the Karuma Rapids a chance of picking up victory. Things all turned and changed in the 5th over by Mariam Belewawa, where she came and gave away 19 runs. And clearly the body language for the Karuma Rapids at their bowling areas have not given them a chance of picking up victory. They will move with, with their shoulders down because they are the only team yet to pick up victory in this tournament. The Itanda Kayakers, who have a double-header today and will be taking on the Jaga Raptors later on today in the afternoon, will be the happier side because on your double-header day, you need to gain momentum. They're on top of the table, 2 out of 2, as they get ready for the Raptors.
Tough shift, tough day for the Rapids. They only have 1 game. Tomorrow will be the double-header day, and they have more than 12 hours to go flip that drawing board and find the rightful notes to come back and bounce and look for their first victory. They had victory here today, but they somewhat connived to fall. Not like them, unlike them, but that's what happens in cricket. One moment in a shortened game, and you lose it all.
Itanda Kayakers matching and winning by 8 wickets in a game where they won the toss and opted to bowl first. A reduced affair, 8 overs apiece. They limited the Karuma Rapids 63 to 68 for 3 in 8 overs. A game, an innings where Utam Samali unbeaten at 32 of 21, whereas Poskovia Alako posted 27 of 16. 1 wicket apiece for Lona Anyait, Ariago Michelle, and Mutoni Irene in the bowling chart for the Kayakers. And Ranches, the captain, leading from up front, managing to remain unbeaten with 33 of 21 and making sure that she has that healthy strike rate of 157. Lona Anyait contributed 9 of 6, whereas Jimia Mohammed put 14 of 9 at a strike rate of 155. The boss lady, Immaculate Nakisui, managed to score 9 runs from 3 balls, finishing the business at a strike rate of 300. 6 extras given away by Karuma Rapids and only 4. 6 extras given away by Itanda Kayakers and only 4 given away by Karuma Rapids. But the Rapids not being a lucky side this afternoon here at Lugogo. The Itanda Kayakers have managed to win by 8 wickets, beating the Karuma Rapids this morning here at Lugo Cricket Oval. But let me invite the captain for the Karuma Rapids to come and tell me what might have gone wrong in that game. Prosy, hard luck. At the end of the first innings, did you feel that maybe had gotten runs that you could have used to maybe pick up victory?
Yeah, I feel like the runs were there and they were enough for us to defend.
What exactly went wrong?
I think the fielding was not quite well. A couple of dropped catches and the bowling changes. I think the bowlers were still bowling short balls.
Yeah, Karuma Rapids winless in this tournament thus far. What might be the plan going forward as you try to still go and search for victory?
I think the comeback should be the stronger one. Should forget about the past games and concentrate on the upcoming ones.
Commiserations and hard luck. Well, that is the captain for the Karuma Rapids, Proskovia Alako. Now let me invite the player of match and captain for the Itanda Kayakers. But first, let me first invite Tembo Arnold to come and award the player of match award. Thank you so much, Tembo. Congratulations, Janet, 33 unbeaten. What has been the plan when you went on to chase? Because looked like the runs were a bit many, 69 or 48. Looked like it was something that needed to take caution while chasing. What was the plan when you were batting?
I think it was very simple. We had to try and minimize the dust balls. Also, we knew we had to go at a run rate of about 9. If we couldn't get 9, we planned to just get anything over 7 and over. And I think we started slightly, first over was pretty decent, second over not so great, but I think we caught up eventually after that. And yeah, it was just mainly that, sticking to the run rate.
It's your double-header day as you return again to take on the Bujaga Rafters. What is the plan? How do you hope to carry on the momentum in that afternoon game?
I think, first of all, the camp is very excited. We're happy for the win, however way they come. We just hope to just stick to the basics as usual, keep it game by game, just back up each other and just stick to our team plan. Hopefully the bowlers will come and execute and the batters also execute both on and off the field. Congratulations,
Janet, and go well.
Thank you.
Well, that is the captain for the Itanda Kayakers, Janet Mbabazi. They will be coming on with their other afternoon as they talk on the Bujaga Rafters later on at 2 p.m.
What you guys have done to us.